Hey everyone, welcome to week 8. Gosh, this term is going by very quickly, and we're almost back to the point where we will get to meet face to face. So, um, the assignment list looks fairly light over the next couple weeks. That's intentional so that you will have the time to focus on your classroom teaching and getting your units taught, and then also doing the mock for those of you that will be completing the mock at TPA this term. So all that's due for this week is the Ed TPA final lesson plans. So for week 8, I want you to submit your final lesson plans. You should have at least 3 lessons for your unit. You should have at least some attempt at all sections. You may not know fully what to complete in each section, but you should at least make an attempt to add something in each of those. You do not need to modify your lessons based on what actually happened when you went to teach it. So you don't need to go back and make changes if you split them up or you added something. But you do need to complete the reflection pieces that are at the bottom of each lesson plan based on how they went while you were teaching this week. So make sure that you take notes maybe the day after you teach or that evening so that you have that information to submit. We will do a peer review of lesson plans on Saturday when we're in class face to face. So please make sure to have those submitted, and if you prefer to read them on paper and look at them, that's fine. I'll leave it up to you whether you want to bring printed copies or just share electronically. The other thing that I wanted to make sure you were aware of, and maybe wasn't as clear as it could be, is on the misconception plan, on the lesson plan for this week, which is due actually tonight, Saturday the 16th. I asked you to complete the lesson plan template, but you're only completing the first 3 parts where you're up to the part where you actually plan an activity for your participants. So the intent was not to get it all done, taught, and post-assessed by today, but to just give the pre-assessment and using those results plan for an activity. So what I would hope to see submitted by tonight at 11:16 is just that first half of the lesson plan. We'll complete the next part of it on week 9. So let me know if you have any questions about that. So a couple things to be prepared for class on Saturday. And I think what I will do is actually add the lesson plans, bring in copies of the lesson plans to this list. So I am going to ask you to be prepared to share an engagement activity that you used with your students during your unit with your classmates. So 15, I would plan no more 10, maybe 15 minutes max, just demonstrating one of the activities you used at the beginning of a lesson to engage your K-12 students in your unit. So if that was a warm-up, or if that was maybe a demonstration or highlighting some phenomenon, pick something you think would be interesting for your classmates as well, and be prepared to demonstrate that in class on Saturday the 23rd. The other thing I want you to be prepared for is bring copies of your students' work for your 3 focus students. So you should have chosen 3 focus students from your class that you're teaching in. Those of you that aren't doing necessarily the mock at TPA this term, I still want you to bring copies of 3 of your students' work to class on Saturday that they completed. I'm looking primarily for an assessment of a summative nature, so something that has a good amount of information on what your students have learned in your unit. So we're going to actually use that that student's work, to do an assignment, an activity in class analyzing student work. So make sure you are bringing that to class, and then also the lesson plans, final copies of your lesson plans if you want to bring paper copies or access to electronic copy. It's up to you. So that's what we have going on. I look forward to actually seeing you again in a little over a week from now. Have a good week. Enjoy your teaching, and I wish you the best of success.